Cooking in Carla's Kitchen today. If you can notice, we're not in Carla's kitchen. We're in Luann's. And we're cooking up some lasagna today, some turkey lasagna. And I'm going to show you here in her kitchen how to do that. We've used the no-boil noodles, and we're going to show you how to layer it. But we've already started with, we were sauteing up the ground turkey meat. We've pureed the whole tomatoes. I'm going to bring the camera over, and you can see we've already shredded up the carrots, the celery, and the onions, and we're going to show you how to put the sauce together and then layer up the lasagna so you can have a great... Okay, so we've got the ground turkey here, and it's all brown. Now we're added the shredded carrots, celery, and onions that we just put in the Cuisinart and shredded those up. We're going to saute that into the ground turkey. And then over here we've got the pot that's full of the pureed tomatoes. So after we saute in the vegetables, we're going to add it to the pureed tomatoes, and that's going to be our basis for our sauce. Then we're going to layer up the cheese and the bechamel sauce, which we're going to make, and we'll show you how to put it all together. Okay, now you see we've got it sauteed, the onions, celery, and carrots, and they're just going to be added now to the pureed tomatoes. That makes our sauce. Okay, now we're going to make the bechamel sauce, and all we've done is melted the butter. Now it's nice and hot. We're going to add to it the flour to make a roux. Just like that. Stir it up good so you get that flour mixed in with the butter. We've already scalded the milk, so it's nice and hot. And so once this cooks up a little, browns just a little, I'm going to add to it the milk.
You want to cook out that flour.
Yep.
Keep stirring.
Okay, now we're adding the milk.
Just a couple tablespoons.
We've added all the rest of the milk now into the sauce. We're just going to cook that till it thickens up. We'll add the nutmeg and the salt and pepper, and then that'll be ready to be layered onto the noodles. So we'll come back and show you how we're going to layer this on. We're going to brown the ground turkey, get the cheeses ready, and then we'll come back and show you how we're going to layer up the lasagna. Okay, here's my friend Luann, and she's going to show you how she puts the layers together for the turkey lasagna.
Okay, I've got about 1 ladle of sauce in the bottom of this 13 by 9 pan that's been sprayed with Pam. I'm going to do a total of 4 layers. So the first layer, I've got 4 noodles of the no-boil noodles. Line them up in the pan. There'll be a little gap around the edge. That's good because we're going to add sauce at the end that'll work its way into the noodles. And we'll take about a heaping ladle of sauce and drizzle it. It doesn't look like we're using very much, but it will with the 4 layers, and then the extra around the edges at the end. It'll get plenty of sauce. And then we'll take the bechamel sauce and drizzle a little bit over this red sauce. And the bechamel replaces what you might normally use with ricotta cheese or cottage cheese. In authentic Italian lasagna, they use bechamel sauce. And then I'm going to take about 1/4 cup of Lasagne cheese and sprinkle it over.
And that's the cheese you said you could use Italian cheese blend if you can't find it.
Correct. I can always find the fresh grated Parmesan. That again I'll use about 1/4 cup. And I can always find the fresh grated mozzarella. The third cheese, sometimes I buy a block of Romano and grate it and put it over, but a lot of times I like to save the time and find pre-grated cheeses in the dairy department. So I'll either use a blend, in this case I was able to find a Saggio, so that's the one I used.
I wanted to show this last part that Luann's going to do where she fills in, and so you could see how it works on the last layer.
So there's a generous amount of sauce left over. And what you do is you take the ladle and gently pour it right down the side. Some batches seem more moist than others, and that's totally fine. The amount of liquid that's left in the bottom of the pan doesn't really matter.
Okay, now we're going to cover this with some foil and put it in the oven at 375 and bake it for 50 to 60 minutes. And then we'll show you the finished product when it gets out.